So because you guys have that quiz that we took right before break, that's a good piece of information to study for the test. I thought I would try to have these notes on paper so that you kind of had everything all in one to be able to study from. So the test itself is going to be from the three sections, 6.6, 6.7, 6.8. 6.8 is on transforming polynomials. And it's relatively straightforward and to me should be very easy for you. But I thought if you had it directly written down, some of you aren't very good at taking notes. Some of you are great at it. I don't know. This way you just have it all together. So I don't usually like printing out notes because to me it kind of encourages you to not follow along. Some people only listen for the information that they want to fill in the note and then like don't try to listen to anything else. I'll just make sure it did have peanuts in it. Okay, so this is stuff that we should theoretically already know. Who should we go with? We should start with somebody. Let's go with Kayla. No, Michaela? Kayla.
Yeah.
No, Michaela's the whole name, right?
Yes.
Okay. How about f of 2? What does that mean to do? Like, what would you do if f of 2? That should tell you something.
Well.
I'll take a sip of coffee. You've got some people around you can confer with.
When you put 2 for x.
You sound like you didn't really understand that. It is correct. What would that mean to you, though?
I don't know.
Oh, what the heck? Where's my marker? It means you're going to put 2 into the equation. Plug 2 in.
4x.
Yes. Most people probably refer to it as plug 2 in. Correct. You guys can phrase it however you'd like to yourself, like whatever makes more sense. It basically means you're going to put 2 into the equation in place of x. So if x is in multiple places, you're just going to put 2 in place of every single x. Okay? Kayla, can you call on somebody else?
Bailey.
I see you went real far out of the box there, out of the comfort zone. Bailey, how do we find f of 2 then? Like, can you find it? Do I need to take another drink of coffee, I take it?
Yes.
Oh, all right. You guys literally just talked to each other about A, though. Like, it's the same question.
Plug it in. Let's just plug it in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I was hoping you would actually plug it in, though.
It would be 3.
Okay, good. So 2 times 2 minus 1.
Yes.
So we put this 2 in place of the x that was there. So 3. So f of 2 equals 3. Transformations can also be used with function notation, which we tried writing it that way before as well. Now, this part is partially why I wanted to print these notes out. This notation it feels confusing to a lot of students, probably. Like, does anybody know how to decipher this instead of me calling on somebody? Like, what does this say up here? It says g of x equals f of x plus 2. Does anybody know how to explain that? Okay. See, you guys are all trying to fight each other to answer. What we're going to do is we're going to take whatever equation f of x is, we're going to add 2 onto that, and that's going to be known as the new equation. So you're basically giving it a different label because it's a different equation. So that's kind of all this notation says. G of x is what we're going to call it a new equation, and we're going to take f of x and then add 2 onto it. Does anybody remember what the plus 2 at the end does, though? Like the transformation? That's what this is actually asking. Close, very close. That's on the, it. That would be if it was inside the parentheses.
Would it be down?
Up 2. It means your equation would move up 2. Yeah, there's a notes on your desk. So I don't know if you guys heard, Liam. The plus 2, if it was inside the parentheses, would move to the left 2. They're the same transformations we did previously. They're just, if they're written in function notation, that means you don't know what the original equation is. But it does the same transformations. Okay, then it says find the equation for g of x. Should I call on somebody for this one? Should Bailey call on somebody for this one? Possibly more than a desk away from you?
Grant. You.
So directly above this, it told us what g of x was. What is g of x?
Oh, at the question.
Perfect. What's f of x?
3.
No. Oh, f of 2 is 3. F of x is what's up on top. So what's f of x?
2x minus 1.
Good. So we're going to take 2x minus 1 because that's f of x. And we're going to add 2 onto it. Because g of x was f of x plus 2. So what would this become? G of x would become plus 1. Are we okay with that? Like basically I just combine the two regular numbers together. Okay, well, this is basically what today's is. Like the last part that we did up here for C and D is 6.8. Oh my gosh, how many letters is there? Oh, that's the whole page. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it does. It goes through the whole alphabet. Yep. Like it, I could just, it's just one question with 26 parts. Okay, so we've got f of x is x cubed plus 4. Who are we on? We're on Grant. Who's going to help us next?
Liam.
Thank you for bringing it right back to where we moved it away from.
You would plug 2 in for x cubed.
Okay? So some people don't actually know what that means. I was hoping you could just tell me what to write. What would you write down on your paper?
Parentheses 2, parentheses cubed, and then plus 4.
Okay, good. So it's not a bad idea to just put whatever you're replacing in parentheses. That's a good idea. It'll help you a lot more when you do negatives. So 2 cubed is 8. So your answer is 12. Okay, I'm going to skip B because it's the same thing, just a negative number. You already know what I'm going to ask you, and I would like you to go farther away, out of your comfort zone.
I don't know anybody else.
Okay. Charlie. Liam called on you. He whispered it. No, I wanted you to go. I was hoping you could help me with C. What is the transformation if we write g of x equals f of x plus 3. And I mainly wanted this here because I want you guys used to this notation because it's kind of weird.
I have no idea.
You have no idea? Oh. Did you write it down up above on the first ones we did? Oh, how come? But you're absolutely correct. Because the plus 3 is at the very end on top of everything. So, okay. But that is correct, yep. Good. Way to repeat information. Do you want to keep going?
I can call us.
Oh, okay. Are we just going to directly call in Nico, or are you calling on somebody else?
I'll call him. Jason.
Oh, okay. Jaden, how would I determine the equation g of x?
I don't even know.
I was just trying to tell you right away. So, up here we're told that g of x is whatever f of x is plus 3.
Yeah.
What's f of x? It's about an inch above it.
Is it like 2?
No,
Oh.
about an inch above where it's your question is. It says f of x equals, like where my mouse is.
Is it 3?
No, no, that's not a number. It's right there where I'm circling.
Like that whole equation?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
f of x equals.
Equals x cubed. Plus 4?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm putting x cubed plus 4 in place of f of x. And then I'm going to add 3 at the end. So g of x is x cubed plus 4 plus 3. Okay. Jaden? Somebody you want to call on?
Nico.
Unless you want to go again.
Nico.
Okay. Nico, we're going to go to D, which is over here on the right-hand side. F of x minus 2. So if we have a minus 2 on the inside of the parentheses, what was that transformation from before?
Up to?
Nope. Nope. Okay, you only got 2 other directions. Nope. Yep. I know you couldn't hear them. I was just answering them. So minus 2 on the inside of the parentheses would move it to the right. So when it's on the inside of the parentheses, it's kind of backwards from what it feels like it should be. So this one would move to the right too.
So is it going for the greatest common factor or something?
No.
So it makes it positive.
Oh. The reason it's the opposite is because if I put positive 2 in place of x, it would turn it to 0, so it kind of like cancels it out. I mean, that's the real reason, not that makes sense, I guess. It's the opposite to cancel it out. Maddie? Yep.
So what would it be like if it was like to the left?
Then it would be plus 2.
So how would we know like if this was to go like up or
So we took these notes quite a while ago. I'm getting the feeling that you guys would like me to explain them again, refresh you on them. Is that what somebody was going to ask over there too?
Yeah, I have the same question.
Okay, I can certainly do that. If you have plus number on the outside, that moves it up. If you have a minus number on the outside, that would move it down. We've taken these notes about 3 times by now, so I know you have them somewhere, and that's fine. We'll just put them on here so you have them consolidated. If you have a minus on the inside of the parentheses, that will move it to the right. It's the opposite what it feels. Oh, that looks strange. So it'd be write whatever number that is. If you have a plus on the inside, oh, that's an H, plus H, that would be to the left. If you have a number multiplier in the front, that's how many times taller it is. The other way to phrase this is a vertical stretch or vertical compression. And I don't really like using those terms because people get confused by them, but I know you'll see it written this way as well. Those two phrases mean the same thing. I am going to scribble at the very bottom one because that's for pre-calc. A negative sign in the front flips it upside down. Now, just so you don't get confused, in the textbook, they don't use the phrase upside down. They say a reflection across the x-axis, which to me is annoying, but it's still correct. And the reason they say that is because instead of having upside down, eventually you're going to learn that you could flip it left and right as well. To me, upside down is still pretty accurate, but whatever. Okay, is that what you were kind of looking for, this? Yeah. So Nico, I think we were on you, right? Yes, yes. So you didn't really answer much since I basically answered all of it. I was hoping you could help me figure out the next part. If we have f of x minus 2, what does it mean when there's just a number inside the parentheses? What do you do with the number? Okay, we're going to do the exact same thing with that. We're going to put that in place of x. So if you have information inside the parentheses, yeah, it was f, okay. Because the original equation was x cubed plus 4, we're going to put x minus 2 in place of x. I'm trying to foil it in my head. Give me a second. Okay. I'm not going to be too particular about how you write the new answer. Like, to me, I'm okay with this equation. I also know that for some of you, it just kind of bugs you to leave it like that, and so you probably want to FOIL it out. It was a good catch, Trev. It was a really good catch. So if you FOIL it out, you certainly can, and then you would just add 4 to whatever your answer was when you FOILed it. And that would be this answer. My guess is if you're checking your answers from homework in the textbook, which I do have the answer key already posted for you, this would be the answer that they give. So just know I'm okay with either one, but that's kind of what you'll see. Okay, Nico. Anybody else you want to call on? Did you say Jaden? Oh, I was going to say, we already called on him. Jake. So I'm looking at E now, where we're trying to do 3 times f of x. Would you rather answer what is the transformation or determine the new equation? Neither? Well, what does 3 times something mean?
It's x cubed plus 4 times 3.
That's perfect. That's exactly what it means. That's the determine the equation one, which is the harder one. So 3 times x cubed plus 3, which would be 3x cubed plus 9. Look at that. You didn't want to do either of them, and you just did it off the top of your head. Oh, is that too low? Oscar?
Second.
Oh, I either heard Jake wrong or he said the wrong thing. 100%, I'll take the blame. It was x cubed plus 4. My fault. How would I write this transformation, though? Oh, do you want to call on somebody?
Ethan. 3 times Tyler.
Perfect. I'm not looking for ridiculously specific explanations. That's really all it is. Okay, then we'll do F. I think that's the last one for now. Henry? What does negative f of x mean?
It's just the inverse, so it's negative 1 times, it's negative 1 times.
You're definitely correct.
So
We definitely have a much more straightforward way of saying it.
it would just be the opposite.
Upside down.
Flipped up over the x direction.
Okay. Yeah, everything you said was good. Reflecting across the x-axis is, you can absolutely write that if you'd like as well. Determine the new equation. So the way you phrased it when you originally said negative 1 times the equation is going to be a much easier way to determine the new equation. Do you want to call on somebody to help us with the last question?
Cadence.
Would it just be like negative, and then in parentheses, x to the power of 3 plus 4?
Good. The negative in the front does the same as a multiplier. Now, I know there were questions on the second page. Sorry, I'll go back to it. And we should probably answer 1 or 2 of those just so you have them in your notes. Cross off C. Haley, are you ready to help us on A? Okay. What does that tell us to do?
2 times what f of x is.
Okay. So it's 2 times f of x. I would accept that. Otherwise, it means twice as tall. The textbook would say a vertical stretch of 2. I know it's written really sloppy. And honestly, I probably don't even need to do B because it's the exact same thing. I think that's it, correct? I don't think there's anything else on there.
Don't we have to determine the equation?
Well, if I could read, I would have seen that, but apparently I can't. Macy, you haven't gone forever. Apparently she can't save you. Nothing? Oh. If I point this one out. It says 2 times f of x. What was f of x?
X to the power of 4 minus 4x.
So we're literally going to take 2 times what you just read off.
And then we did do it to simplify that.
Like I just did? Yes. If it's really easy to do, I definitely would expect you to. On the other side, because you were trying to cube like a whole parentheses of things, I'm not necessarily expecting you to do that off the top of your head. Just because it would take a while to do. Most of these transformations should be really fast. Okay. Let me... Yeah, I mean, I'll stop the recording. I do have the homework, instead of doing it out of the text, it's actually out of the textbook, but it's on a worksheet for you guys. So the homework is attached to the assignment in Schoology. And then the answer key is also attached to that too, so you guys have the answers. But, I'm gonna guess and assume the homework should go pretty fast for you on this. And this is all of 6-8. So the test that we're gonna do Friday is made up of the quiz that we went over yesterday plus this.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.